Okay. So, we are moving to the next module, that is the fourth module, and here we are going to talk about knowledge management system, that how you go about analyzing the design part and the development part. And in this process, the first phase we are going to talk about how we are going to create an infrastructure, that is what you call is more related to the technology part, I mean the technology part, and then we will talk about knowledge audit, that how we are going to evaluate the kind of knowledge that is captured, stored and used in terms of its quality, accessibility and other issues. And then third part in this process is knowledge team which is responsible for managing and maintaining the knowledge management system. Okay. So, what we are going to discuss to start with, first of all we will talk about the knowledge transfer part, knowledge infrastructure part, and then we will move to the knowledge audit and knowledge team. Now, when it comes to knowledge infrastructure, basically if you look at the knowledge management system and its technology, that is the base or the technological base, it has a 7-layer knowledge management architecture, and at each level it has certain elements related to the infrastructure, the technology. So, basically when we are talking about knowledge infrastructure, we are going to talk about the kind of technology that is used in at each of these 7 layers, and we will also analyze various components which is deployed for transforming existing infrastructure into one that supports the knowledge management system. So, basically here we are going to talk about the technology structure and how technology structure is going to support a knowledge management system. Now, if you look at the 7 layers of a knowledge management system, you can see these are the various users U1, U2, U3, U4 and something like that. So, there could be a number of users which are going to use the knowledge management system. This is the topmost layer, that is what we call the interface layer. Interface layer is that is through which you are going to use the knowledge as a user. So, this layer acts as an interface between the system and the users. Okay. So, we will talk about the interface layer first, and then we move to the next layer. So, before it is going to the user, we go for access and authentication process. Okay. We make sure that yes, it is authentic, the knowledge is authenticated, recognized, you have security systems, there is a medium through which the knowledge is going through you. Okay. And then we move to the next part, that is the collaborative intelligence filtering, that is where you have tools, personalization tools, okay, searching, indexing and metagaming. These things basically helps you to codify the knowledge in a structured form, so that and then it is authenticated and it moves to the interface layer through which people can make use of the knowledge. Now, fifth layer is application layer basically, okay, where you have different kind of things like directories, yellow pages, tools, video conferences, digital whiteboards, electronic forms, these kind of things, which is basically the application layer. That is how the knowledge is transferred and shared. Then the transport layer. If you look at the transport layer, that is where hardware is involved, right? Hardware and software is involved. Like you have web technology, you have audio document exchange, video transport, okay, virtual private networks, emails and other kind of support. Basically, this is a transport layer, and then you have middle layer and legacy integration layer. That is how you are going to integrate, okay, legacy other platforms, technology platforms with the knowledge management system. And finally, you have a repositories where you have legacies, warehouses, discussion forms, document bases and others. So, these are the repositories, that is what we call the knowledge repositories, and this is integrated if you move to this with the interface layer. So, interface layer, and this is integrated with via the internet with the repositories, and these are the layers that is there in the middle. Now, moving further, we have to say that how technology helps in the knowledge management system. Okay. So, it is very important for you to identify what kind of technology you are going to use. The objective should be that the technology helps you to very clearly define, okay, this is the kind of thing that we are looking forward to, and this technology is going to help us, and that is where you need to identify what kind of technology you are going to use. So, the technology selection process is very important, okay, because if you have not selected the right kind of technology, probably it will not be able to help you to create any kind of things, even starting with the user interface, because suppose you are going to search something using a internet. So, the best interface that is provided to you is through a browser, and that is how you are going to search the internet, right. So, in the process you have to see that yes, the browser is going to help you to search the stored information from the repositories, and then you have to what kind of systems it is, what kind of software and hardware you are going to make use of it. Okay. So, when you are going to talk about the technology, it is nothing else but the hardware and the software which is going to help you to transfer the knowledge, okay, from the repositories to the users. Okay. So, the focus of the technology is basically in two areas, that is storage, how it helps you to store the knowledge. Okay. Now, if you want to store knowledge, it could be in digitized form, you can scan it, it could be in a video format, it could be in audio format. Okay. So, there are different kind of formats that could be used for storage, and then you also need a technology for retrieval. Okay. And similarly, you need to communicate, and so the basic role of technology is in storage and retrieval, and also communicating the knowledge to the users. Okay. And technology also helps you to capture and distribute knowledge and communication networks, like you help in transfer and collaboration in knowledge management system. So, technology is a very important factor in the process, and that is what we want to see, that how technology is going to help it. Now, if you look at how it is going to enable, say for example, in order to capture the knowledge, where is the knowledge is, where the knowledge is. Okay. So, it could be basically the technology enabler is going to see that, okay, how we are going to get it, what are the different sources, formal and informal sources and LO pages, and how we can retrieve information from different sources. Then when it comes to creating knowledge, okay, so in order to create knowledge, you have to see that how you can make use of technology for decision making, like you have decision support system, expert systems, databases, okay, repositories, externalization tools. Then for packaging and assembling also, you have technology where you are going to use, say, desktop tools for publishing and these kind of things, right. For applying, yes, definitely you have search engines, storage and retrieval systems, okay, which can classify both formal and informal knowledge. And finally, for reuse and revalidate also, you require technology, that how we are going to make use of that technology to provide customer support related to the knowledge, okay, how you can record databases, cross projects, okay, and then you can also standardize these communities of practices, that is what we call best practices. Okay. So, in all these areas you can see that the technology is going to be helpful. Now, as I told you that the most important layer is the topmost layer, which is basically known as the interface layer, and this interface layer is important because with the help of this interface layer you are going to use it, right. So, with which you are going to directly connect yourself, and that is why interface layer is very important. Okay. So, it is one of the important determinants in the knowledge management system. That is how you retrieve and use information, right. So, when I am talking about user interface, and when I am talking about the interface layer, you have to see that how it works. Okay. So, there are certain criteria that could be used, okay, in order to see that it is very collaborative. So, you need to develop a platform which is very collaborative. Now, you have to see that you have efficient protocols, you have the bandwidth and the network which is fast, which allow good access, okay, even at different places across organizations, right. Even if I am moving, like for example, if I want to use my webmail services, if I am in IIT, then I can use it, but suppose if I am staying in Mumbai or London, even then it is possible for me to have access and use my email system, and that is why you need to see that yes, the bandwidth is not clogged, okay, it is secure, and you are able to fast share the content across locations, right. So, it should be efficient. Similarly, it has portability also, okay, because so that you can transfer it from one platform to another platform, okay, from one department to another department, right. So, you must make sure that yes, you should be able to operate in a portable manner across platforms. Then another important issue is that it is easy to use client interface. The interface layer, it should be such that anybody can use it, because it's not necessary that those who are going to make use of this interface layer have the technical expertise. They may not be having the technical expertise. They could be people from non-technical areas or other departments who does not have technical knowledge. So you need to ensure that this interface is for everybody, and anyone having either technical or non-technical knowledge can make use of it. It's not only meant for experts, it is meant for everybody, right? Then it should be a stable system, right? So means that it should consistently perform well, okay, without any degradation in the performance of the system. So that is very important for effective and consistent working. Then legacy. This platform should be able to integrate with other databases, like you have accounting database in the organization or HR database. So it should be able to integrate with other platforms as well. So you need to ensure that this platform should integrate with other databases in the organization, okay. So that if I want to see that, okay, HR related issues I can see, suppose I want to look into the account related issue, so it should provide interface to other databases and should be integrated with these legacy databases. And the most important thing is security. Make sure that it is secure, so that you don't have any problem, right? And then at the same time, the database or the choice of the platform should allow customization and flexibility, okay, so that whenever I want to see it, whenever I need it, I can get it. That is what flexibility and customizability means. So these are some of the criteria which basically make this platform very collaborative when it comes to user interface. Now web or the proprietary platform. Web based systems are very efficient today, and that is being used, okay. Like sometimes we use spreadsheets, meeting notes, design documents, etc. And then you can convert into a storage friendly formats, like you are using MS Excel. So you are preparing spreadsheets and you can put into the system, right? But it has certain other problems, because it cannot be integrated with other systems, right? So you need to develop standardized platforms and operating systems, and that is where either whether you are going to use a web based system or Lotus Notes for knowledge sharing, you ensure that it is very collaborative, and it is, and whatever the characteristics that we have earlier discussed, like it meet the protocols, okay, it should be portable, easy to use, okay, scalable also, it should be integrable, it should be integrated to other things, okay. These criteria should be met. See here some discussed the characteristics of these things are discussed. I am not going to discuss in much detail, but if you look at some of the characteristics of the Lotus Note and web based intranets, okay, these are extensively being used for knowledge sharing, okay. So if you look at some of the characteristics like World Wide Web, Windows, that is basically nothing else, okay. But it is very authentic in nature, and intranet based, which is basically free, or if you have web development skills, you can make use of it, okay. So you have to see that you are going to use technology, with basically web related technology for these purposes, okay. And then you have a technology or systems, like it could be open or it could be closed, okay. And then you also need to see that whether it's a proprietary software or whether it is the characteristics nodes are high or low, okay. So these are the things that we need to look into. So, but the basic objective of comparing the characteristics is that to see that which one is a better knowledge sharing platforms, and both of them are equally good. It depends upon the user and other things, okay, that how you are going to make use of this. So another important issue is packaging, okay, the art of packaging knowledge. So once knowledge is created or codified, okay, then and it is put into the system, okay, then you have to see that how the knowledge is produced before the users. That is very important. Before the knowledge is produced before the users, it has to be packaged properly. For example, when you go and buy a product, so it is packaged properly, okay, where you have all the characteristics mentioned on the package, so that you know what it is going to do, what for it is meant, how to make use of it, and these kind of things, right. So similarly, when you are going to produce knowledge and package it, you also need to ensure that yes, what for it is, who is going to make use of it, and you also follow certain criteria like it is filtered, edited, searched, okay, and it is organized properly, okay, and then it is packaged, okay, so that when you produce it to the people who are going to make use of it may find it easy to use. Okay. Since this packaging is very important, so that you need to basically keep in mind certain characteristics of this, that the knowledge that is being packaged is consistent, is accurate, it meets all the standards, okay, and it is organized and codified in such a way so that you are able to have access to it. Okay. In the sense you can say that yes, it is able to provide you some kind of insight for you to work, it is relevant and useful for you, and if it is packaged properly, probably you find that yes, it is going to help you to do your job, it is relevant and contextual for you. And if it is not properly packaged, you do not know how you are going to make use of it, what it is about. Okay. So, before packaging you filter it properly, make sure that only relevant things are there, you edit unnecessary things, okay, you search it and then organize it in such a way so that collectively you produce a package which is going to be useful for the people who are going to make use of it. So, package is important. Then another important is that how you are going to deliver it. Now, when you are going to use these interfaces through web or internets to deliver products, that is knowledge basically. Now, how much you are going to do it, how much should be delivered, whether you are going to deliver all the information or you are going to be selective in parts. Another important issue is that when you are going to deliver it, whenever it is needed by the person, or whenever it is acquired. For example, as institute to come out with something that is innovative and productive, and then you put it on the web for the information everybody that okay, this is how we have created, this is what we have acquired. Okay. So that people, if required, they can go to that place and find it out. Another thing is that whenever it is needed, okay, just in time. Okay. So, you are going to deliver something whenever it is required by the people. Okay. So, there are two approaches that could be used to deliver, okay, just in case or just in time. Okay. That is when to need it and when created or acquired by you. Okay. So, any of them can be followed depending upon the requirements. Okay. There is no I cannot say that there is an advantage or disadvantage of using a particular approach. Now, from interface layer, now we are moving to another layer, that is collaborative intelligence and data warehouses. Okay. These are also very important elements of the infrastructure. Now, when I am talking about important elements of the infrastructure, we have to see that how we are going to use these technologies and how this technology fits into the KM system and how they can be integrated. Okay. And that is where we need to understand the role of technology basically in the context of knowledge management, because knowledge management per se is not technology, because knowledge management has a system which starts with knowledge capturing, then creation, then codification, okay, and there is a lot of human elements that is involved. Once codification is then when it comes to storage, that is where the knowledge, the technology comes into the picture. So, storage and retrieval, that is very important. So, you have to see that the codified knowledge, how you are going to store and retrieve, and then you communicate it to the other person. Okay. Right. So, that is where it is very important to have and to understand the role of the technology. Now, when we are talking about data warehouse is what? Data warehouse is a huge data that is available with your repositories. Okay. But this data warehouse is not very important in the sense, because how you are going to make use of the data, because it is not organized meaningfully, and then it is very difficult for you to apply and interpret anything or infer anything out of this data. So, for example, you might be having databases of thousands of students. Okay. But these are only databases. Unless it is organized in a meaningful way, we cannot infer or interpret it for making any decision, right. So, data warehouses are not very useful unless it is translated into meaningful information, and that is what, if you remember, we talked about, that we need to move from data to information. Data are facts that is available in unstructured form, and while information is more structured and organized form, because and then when we are talking about knowledge, that how we are going to make use of that information in a relevant context to do something, and that is where the knowledge comes into the picture. So, if you look at that how data warehouse fits into the knowledge management system, it does not have much to do, right, because response time is very low, okay. Scalability is not very high, okay. Flexibility of use is very high, of course, but you have to find out that how in what we are going to make use of the data, okay. End use is also very high because you have all the data, and if you have interface and if you are able to organize it, then it is good, otherwise not. Retrieval is okay, you can navigate through the interface and find out the relevant data. Suppose I want to see that how many students in the 4th year have failed, okay. So, we have a ERP system, I will navigate through the ERP system and can find out how many students will have failed, but this is not going to fit into a KM structure unless I know or I have other details, okay. These are the students who have failed, what are the reasons, and how are going to use this data to make certain important decisions related to the students, whether they should be allowed to have backlogs or whether you are going to terminate them from the program. So, these decisions are taken based on certain information. So, you get this information, you retrieve this information, but you need to make use of it, that is very important, okay. But processing overhead is very high, okay. For example, if you are going, it depends upon what kind of platform you are going to use, okay. And then accuracy, since it is related to data, accuracy is very high, provided accurate data is fed into the system. If the data that is fed into the system is good and consistent, then there is no problem. And the important thing is that there is no time lag, okay, because old data may not be very useful. So, you need to show that all data which is relevant is fed into the system. Then there are certain tools that could be used, like genetic algorithm tools. Algorithm tools means that they are straightjacketed way to solve the problem, okay. Suppose you are using standard or thumb rules, okay, rule of thumb, then what happens? Then you try to generate certain algorithms, that is straightforward rules in order to solve the problem, okay. So, though you have the data, but you do not know what to do with this, how are you going to use this data to solve a problem, okay. But if you look at the data, then probably you will be able to derive something out of it, provided you are going to make use of the data, use certain rules, okay, of say transforming the data into information and then make certain decision based on that. So, this genetic algorithm is also used, and it is used as a technological framework. Accuracy is medium to high, okay. Speed in that sense is also good, okay. The only thing is that scalability is very low, okay, it is not very good, and its embeddability is very high, because you know that you have software and other things, okay. So, if you have a solution, you have a problem, you put it into software, if it is database software, it will solve your problem, it will come out with the result. But the issue is that how you are going to make use of it, okay, other problem domains, okay. And then the solutions tend to be fairly specialized, okay, and narrow application, because you cannot apply it in other situations. Easy of use is low or medium, because see, lot of commercial tools are available today, softwares are there even for non-window platforms, okay, which you can use today, but these genetic algorithm based tools are used, but they are not very good actually. Then we also use neural networks, okay. Basically it is nothing else but it is a computer architecture, okay, where you have different processes which are interconnected, just like neurons in the human brain, okay, and the learning takes place through trial error. Like an individual, when you do something, you find out mistakes, next time when you try to do certain things, you remember those mistakes and then you correct yourself, right. So, basically using these neural networks, you can find out what are the issues, what are the patterns, the trends from the data, okay, and then you make use of these things to take decisions, right. Now, if you look at the neural networks, that how, yes, it is very accurate, speed is good, okay, flexibility is mediocre, okay, but it has a low processing resource requirement, scalability is limited because it depends upon the data, okay, and you cannot solve complex problem using this because that require high scalability, okay, and the limited need for domain experts, because the relevant data is required and it also need to be processed, okay. So, neural networks sometimes helps, but it is not always, because it requires training and processing of data and other things, right. So, when we have to see that there are a lot of downsides of it when it comes to its application in the knowledge management system. Now, we have talked about certain computational networks, whether it is algorithm based or whether it is neural networks based, or even sometimes we use artificial intelligence or expert or reasoning expert reasoning and rule based systems. Now, when I am talking about expert system or rule based system, you have to see that yes, they are just opposite of what you call this genetic algorithm or neural networks, because genetic and algorithm and neural network systems are based on certain techniques and formulas. You have softwares and hardwares which can help you to solve a problem. But when the problem is routine in tasks, not very complex, then that can help you. But when it comes to non-routine or heuristic tasks, then probably you try to go for expert reasoning, and that is where it is very, very important. So, in what happens in genetic algorithm, you have certain conditions under which solutions are considered good, but you cannot apply expert knowledge in how to solve the problems. Expert knowledge is basically what you call the tacit knowledge. Okay. In rule based system, you can bring out the expert knowledge, okay, but you cannot specify any universal condition that denotes a good solution. Okay. Because in rule based system, you apply certain rules, solution may be good or may be bad. Okay. Okay. And basically this is used for non-routine tasks, okay, or complex problems. Now, if you look at rule based system like if this happens, then this happens, or else this will happen. So, you either follow this rules of logic like if then else. Okay. So, these kind of rules are followed. Okay. So, and in an expert system or rule based system, what actually happens that you get extensive inputs from the experts, that is very, very important. Okay. So, expert knowledge is very, very much required, and that is limited. Then development, high speed of development is required, because you have to work at a fast pace, otherwise it may not help you. Then you also need to see that whether it is going to help you to solve complex problems or not. Okay. If your databases are very huge, okay, then it becomes very difficult to apply rules, because it becomes very, very complicated. Okay. So, you have to see that what is the computing power of the system. If the computing power of the system is good, then you move to more genetic or algorithm, okay, not heuristics, because in heuristics computing power become limited actually. Okay. And then flexibility is less, because you suppose there is a new variable, or this system is not flexible, or computing power is less, then in that case these kind of things does not work. Then I will talk about another important thing, that is granularity. Granularity is nothing else but how you approach a problem. That is very, very important. Okay. Since the idea of knowledge management system is to have a system or mechanism to secure knowledge, to get knowledge from the experts, okay, in the organization or the experts. So, you have to see that how to approach, how to go about it, and to what extent you go about it, and the level of detail that you can move up to. Okay. Now, I will give two examples, one from the medicine and one from the corporate world. Now, look at say the granularity in the KM system, which is basically related to a medicine system, a diagnostic system. Okay. Now, if you look at these kind of things and then see how we get into the detail or the depth of a KM system that it can deal with, right. Now, if you look at this table, it shows different knowledge objects and the extent to which this knowledge management system can move up to in terms of the depth and the detail, right. Say for example, knowledge domain you have identified, it is related to internal medicine. The area is say neurology, then section is related to the brain disease, or say it is a tumor. Then segment is, okay, what you are going to do, you are want to see whether this tumor is cancerous or non-cancerous. Next, then you go for general diagnostic strategy or in order to find out whether this tumor is cancerous or not cancerous. Then you go for fragmentation. Okay. If you look into the symptom that is exhibited by the patient, if it is headache, then you consider yes, it could be a brain tumor, and if there is a excessive headache, then you say okay, so it is definitely a tumor. So, what you do basically from broad area you narrow it down to find out a problem, and then you see that you try to use a system, develop a KM system in order to solve a problem, right. So, this is related to a medicine area. Okay. Now, we are going to discuss a similar approach related to the corporate world, okay, that to what level you can go to see that the problem is solved, right. So, you have to find out the right level of molecularity of knowledge. which you need to store in the knowledge system. Starting with, if you look at this example from knowledge domain to knowledge atom. So, the molecularity goes down, it means atom is the smallest part, right, domain is the biggest part. So, in that case you have to see that how do you deal with it. Now, if you look at this example, okay, this is basically related to customer support and knowledge level, right. This is another example of a knowledge management system in the area of business. Now, if you look at knowledge domain, it is basically for a customer support to home computers. Okay. The area is hardware. Now, the section is memory diagnostics. Then segment is diagnosis of memory related problems using general diagnostic strategies. Okay. The element is you adopt various strategies. Okay. You look into the symptoms and eliminate all possible units unless you find out the failure of the hardware fault. Okay. Then you will move to the fragment. What are the symptoms that is reported with the customer to support it, right. Okay. And then you move to the last stage, that is atom. Okay. Whether it is the frequent lockups, brave skin is coming, okay, the failure to boot up. So, look into these systems. So, either you see there are two approaches that you can go for. Okay. Either you move from top to bottom or bottom to top. For example, in this case what you can do, you can move from atom to domain, okay, or you can move from top to bottom. Similarly, in this business case you can you move from this to this. So, you need to create a KM system for customer support for home computers, and you develop these things one by one, so that you are able to diagnose and solve the problems, right, and that is how it is going to help you to provide better customer support. Now, another issue is related to searching, indexing and retrieval. Okay. Now, when I am talking about searching, indexing and retrieval of a KM system, we have to see that how it happens. Okay. And here we are going to talk about different kind of navigation strategies, okay, which is known as meta searching, hierarchical searching, attribute searching and content searching. So, I think I should proceed. So, we are moving to meta searching and hierarchical searching. Meta searching is basically where you are going to search knowledge into a general category, okay, or a piece of potential knowledge with a repository. So, you give keywords and then you look at the repositories and see whether it is available or not. Okay. Like you in a Google, you give certain keywords and then you see whether that information is available to you or not, right. Then hierarchical search strategy is different. It is basically the knowledge is organized in a fixed hierarchy. So, what happens? You traverse from one place to another place. So, you are looking for some knowledge. For example, if you go to Wikipedia, so you search certain things in Wikipedia. So, you get some information. Suppose you want to locate or identify some in-depth information. Okay. So, you could find certain links in the Wikipedia on that particular topic, and if you click on that, you are taken to another web page. Okay. So, whether you get more information, and from there you can traverse to another place. Okay. So, this is what we know as hierarchical search strategy. It means you have traverse links with a structure to efficiently locate the right knowledge in a timely manner. So, from one place you move to another place in search of knowledge, right, and that is where internet is very, very useful, right, because it helps you by having a hyperlink through which you can move to another set of data or information to get the kind of information or knowledge that you are looking forward to. Another way to look at it is attribute searching, and attribute searching basically you look into the attributes, okay, and then you try to see whether the attributes that you are looking forward is available or not. Okay. So, you will for example, if you have skill databases, okay, and then you see whether you are looking for a person which is available in the skill database or not. Okay. For example, if you are looking for expert in a particular field, okay, so you type say okay, experts in the area of organizational behavior, experts in the area of operations management. Okay. So, this basically talks about an attribute which operations people have. So, if you look at it, so you and then the skill databases, from here you can find out such people. Okay. And if you have it, if the database it is available, then you can get it, otherwise not get it. Okay. So, these are the things that you can go for when it comes to attribute searching. Then content searching, which is the least efficient strategy basically. For example, any arbitrary keyword or term that can be used to search, okay, and then you get lot of information, and then you see that which one is matching with that. Okay. So, you adapt various strategy when it comes to searching strategies. Okay. So, you can use a combination of these strategies, like you can go for content searching, attribute searching, okay, other form of searching, because if you are using one single strategy, probably you may not get relevant information. So, it is better to combine some of these search and retrieval strategies altogether, so that you get those information knowledge that could be of use to you. Okay, thank you.